Chapter 2, Surah Baqarah, Part 4, Section 14, of Chapter 2, verse 72 to 75. People, Jews, like rocks, not likely to change. Remember, you slew a man and fell into a dispute among yourselves as to the crime. But Allah was to bring forth what you did hide. So we said, strike with a piece of the heifer. Thus, Allah brings the dead to life and shows you His signs. Perchance you may understand. Thenceforth were your hearts hardened. They became like a rock, and even worse in hardness. For among rocks there are some from which rivers gush forth. Others there are, which when split asunder send forth water, and others which sink for fear of Allah. And Allah is not unmindful of what you do. Can you entertain the hope that they will believe in you, seeing that a party of them heard the word of Allah and perverted it knowingly after they understood it? Remarks: once the murdered person was made alive as a witness to the crime, they turned hard, not to accept the truth, come what may. Thus, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, was told not to entertain hope that this type of people, like rocks, would accept him. The verses mention that some rocks produce water. There are rocks in the space which send forth water when they split asunder. The primitive earth did not have water. A few observations suggest that the oceans might have formed due to the fall of water-bearing asteroids. Verse 76 to 81. Behold, when they meet the men of faith, they say, we believe. But when they meet each other in private, they say, shall you tell them what Allah has revealed to you, that they may engage you in argument about it before your Lord? Do you not understand? Know they not that Allah knows what they conceal and what they reveal? And there are among them illiterates, who know not the book but desires, and they do nothing but conjecture. Then woe to those who write the book with their own hands, and then say, this is from Allah, to traffic with it, for a miserable price. Woe to them for what their hands do write, and for the gain they make thereby. And they say, the fire shall not touch us, but for a few numbered days. Say, have you taken a promise from Allah, for He never breaks His promise? Or is it that you say, of Allah, what you do not know? Nay, those who seek gain in evil, and are girt round by their sins, they are companions of the fire. Therein shall they abide. But those who have faith and work righteousness, they are companions of the Jannat. Therein shall they abide. Section 15 of Chapter 2, verse 83 to 86. Revolt, conflict, and separation. An unruly and chaos-making people, Jews. And remember, we took a covenant from the children of Israel. Worship none but Allah. Treat with kindness your parents and kindred and orphans and those in need. Speak fair to the people. Be steadfast in prayer, and practice regular charity. Then did you turn back, except a few among you, and you backslide? And remember, we took your covenant. Shed no blood among you, nor turn out your own people from your homes. And this you solemnly ratified, and to this you can bear witness. After this, it is you the same people who slay among yourselves, and banish a party of you from their homes. Assist against them in guilt and transgression. And if they come to you as captives, you ransom them, though it was not lawful for you to banish them. Then, is it only a part of the book that you believe in, and do you reject the rest? But what is the reward for those among you who behave like this, but disgrace in this life? And on the day of judgment, they shall be consigned to the most grievous penalty. For Allah is not unmindful of what you do. These are the people who buy the life of this world at the price of the hereafter. Their penalty shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped. Remarks: after Moses, Joshua became the leader of Jewish people and captured Canaan. Joshua was helper of Moses. Most likely, he was the one that carried cooked fish, while Moses visited Kidder. In Canaan, they were living in tribes for about 125 years. According to the instruction of Moses, They were not allowed to make any king, kingdom, and government. Still, the rabbis do not support the formation of a state. But they were feeling the need of a kingdom and were praying to God through the prophet of the time. God made a kingdom for them and led it by 3 divinely guided kings, Saul, David, and Solomon. In 1025 BCE, Talud, Saul, became the first king. How he became king is described in section 41 of this chapter. After Talud, his son-in-law, David, became the king. After David, his son Solomon became the king. Once Solomon died, many of the Jews revolted against religious rule. They wanted heavy yoke, religious rule, mounted on them to be removed. Rehoboam, Solomon's son, had blessing of Solomon. After Solomon he became king, but many denied to accept him. A civil war broke out. In and around 930 BCE, the country was divided into 2 kingdoms. Southern half, including Jerusalem, remained with Rehoboam and was named Judah. Solomon's another son, Jeroboam, took the northern half and named it Israel. Many were killed, looted, and evicted in the process. Figure 2.23. Kingdom of Judah and Israel. 1. Kingdom of Israel, Northern Kingdom, after Solomon. 10 tribes: Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, children of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh, and Benjamin, under Jeroboam, formed the Kingdom of Israel with its capital in Samaria. Freedom of humanity prevailed in the kingdom. Soon many began to worship the idols of Baal and Cow. The kingdom lasted a little over 200 years. The Assyrians conquered the kingdom, and by 721 BCE, they exiled the tribes in the east of present-day Iran. A little description about their location is available in Holy Bible. It points out present-day Afghanistan. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria, exiled the Israelites to Ashur, and made them settle in Hala, at the banks of Habor, the river of Gozan, as well as in the cities of the Medes. 2 Kings chapter 17, 6. Holy Bible. The king of Assyria deported the Israelites to Assyria and settled them in Hala, on the Habor, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. 2 Kings chapter 18, 1. Holy Bible. So the God of Israel brought against them the anger of Pul, king of Assyria, and of Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, who deported the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. They were taken off to Hala, near Habor, and the river Gozan. They are still there today. 1 Chronicles chapter 5, 26. Holy Bible. Hala is present-day Hart. River Gozan is River Ghazni. Habor is Peshawar, Pesh-Habor. All are Afghan territories. They never returned to Israel and have become known as the Lost Tribes of Israel. According to the Quran, these lost tribes will return to Jerusalem after the breakout of Gog-Magog during the reign of Jesus Christ. Many of present-day Afghans may be from the lost tribes. Some of Afghan cultural activities are same as ancient Jewish cultural activities. They possess similar physical appearances and eye colors. The names of tribes are similar as well. Some people from the lost tribes moved to Europe. Among them, the people from the tribe of Dan have clear footprints. Macedonia, Denmark, River Danube are after the name of Dan. Manasseh is identified in India. Black Israelites from Ethiopia have returned. They are descendants of Bilqis, Queen of Seba, and Solomon. So they are not from the lost tribes. 2. Kingdom of Judah, Southern Kingdom. The religious system prevailed in Judah under Rehoboam. However, only 2 tribes, Benjamin and Judah, remained in his kingdom. After about 344 years, in 586 BCE, Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar captured the kingdom of Judah. He destroyed the Temple of Solomon and forcefully shifted them to Babylon. After about 47 years, in 539 BCE, Babylon fell to the Persian Emperor Cyrus the Great, Dul Qarnayn. He allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem. Their descendants are Jewish people of today. The captivity lasted for about 48 years. This short-duration exile is known as Babylonian captivity. The song, "By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yeah, we wept, when we remembered Zion," is a recollection of that period. Cyrus allowed to rebuild the temple. The temple is known as the Second Temple. Later, in 70 CE, Romans destroyed the Second Temple utterly. Not a stone remained on another stone. Section 16 of chapter 2, verse 87 to 103, concluding with the Jews. We gave Moses the book, and followed him up with a succession of apostles. We gave Jesus, the Son of Mary, clear signs, and strengthened him with the Holy Soul. Is it that whenever there comes to you an apostle, with what you yourselves desire not, you are puffed up with pride? Some you called impostors, and others you slay. They say, our hearts are wrapped. Nay, Allah's curse is on them for their blasphemy. Little is it they believe. And when there comes to them a book from Allah confirming what is with them, although from the old they had prayed for victory against those without faith, when there comes to them that which they have recognized, they refuse to believe in it. But the curse of Allah is on those without faith. The miserable is the price for which they have sold their souls, in that they deny which Allah has sent down in insolent envy, that Allah of His grace should send it to any of His servants He pleases. Thus have they drawn on themselves wrath upon wrath, and humiliating is the punishment of those who reject faith. When it is said to them, believe in what Allah has sent down, they say, we believe in what was sent down to us. Yet they reject all besides, even if it be truth confirming what is with them. Say, why then have you slain the prophets of Allah in times gone by, if you did indeed believe? There came to you Moses with clear signs, yet you worshipped the calf after that, and you did behave wrongfully. And remember, we took your covenant, and we raised above you of mount. Hold firmly to what we have given you, and hearken. They said, we hear and we disobey, and their hearts absorbed a calf because of their faithlessness. Say, worst indeed is that which your faith enjoins on you if you are believers. Say, if the last home with Allah be for you specially, and not for anyone else, then seek you for death, if you are sincere. But they will never seek for death on account of which their hands have sent on before them. And Allah is well acquainted with the wrongdoers. You will indeed find them of all people most greedy of life, even more than the idolaters. Each one of them wishes he could be given a life of 1,000 years. But the grant of such life will not save him from punishment. For Allah sees well all that they do. Say, whoever is an enemy to Gabriel, for he brings it down to your heart by Allah's will, a confirmation of what went before, and guidance and glad tidings for those who believe. Whoever is an enemy to Allah and His angels and apostles, to Gabriel and Michael, lo, Allah is an enemy to those who reject faith. We have sent down to you manifest verses, and none reject them but those who are perverse. Is it not that every time they make a covenant, some party among them throws it aside? Nay, most of them are faithless. And when there came to them an apostle from Allah, confirming what was with them, a party of the people of the book threw away the book of Allah behind their backs, as if they did not know. They followed what the evil ones gave out against the power of Solomon. The blasphemers were not Solomon, but the evil ones teaching men magic and such things as came down at Babylon to the angels, Harut and Marut. But neither of these taught anyone without saying, we are only for trial, so do not blaspheme. They learned from them the means to sow discord between man and wife. But They could not thus harm anyone except by Allah's permission. And they learned what harmed them, not what profited them. And they knew that the buyers of black magic would have no share in the happiness of the hereafter. And vile was the price for which they did sell their souls, if they but knew. If they had kept their faith and guarded themselves from evil, far better had been the reward from their Lord, if they but knew. Remarks 1. Harut and Marut, as people say, the angels of the universe, Samawat, skies, observed that humans on earth were disobeying Allah and committing sinful deeds. They looked down upon humans, believing that they themselves would not commit such acts, and thought humans should be punished by Allah. However, Allah was merciful towards humans. The angels approached Allah with their arguments, expressing their concerns. Allah gave 2 angels, Harut and Marut, human-like passions and desires, and sent them to earth. These 2 were more active in demeaning humans. However, upon arriving on earth, they quickly fell in love with a beautiful woman and eagerly sought to have sex with her. The woman, in turn, made them bow down to her idol, drink wine, and commit murder. She eventually learned a few secret magical words from them that could lift one into the sky. It is said that she used these words to ascend into the sky, where she was arrested and transformed into the planet Venus as a form of punishment. It may be that the woman's soul, nafs, was absorbed into the Venus so that she senses the harshness of the planet. The Venus is the hottest planet of the solar system, hotter than Mercury, closest to the Sun. All planets in the solar system spin anti-clockwise on their axis, but the Venus rotates clockwise. After failing the test, the angels desired to be punished on earth. Thus, they are said to be suspended upside down in a well located in Babylon. One may find the full story in the traditional Tafsirs. 2. Black Masic, a human practicing black magic, sells his soul, nafs, maybe in cases, as the verses say, and vile was the price for which they did sell their souls. What could be the selling of soul to a demonic jinn, or spoiling it by Satan practices? A human soul, nafs, is a combination of unknown force fields, not yet discovered as of 2024. A human may sell their nafs to a jinni by rejecting faith in one God and practicing rituals of black magic. Selling the nafs and practicing black magic may also make the nafs a suitable mount for the jinni. Thus, the possessing jinni can enjoy the charms of human life through the possessed human. In return, the jinni may perform certain tasks for the human. A jinni can see the angels and thereby know the near future by observing the descending angels or stealthily hearing them. A jinni can also bring information from a distant area. It may be vindictive to the enemies of the person it possesses and may harm those enemies. There may be another way of practicing black magic where jinns are not involved. A human soul, nafs, is the source of emotions. It is conscious. Similarly, the material world is conscious. The double-slit experiment proves that a subatomic particle moving as a wave becomes a particle when observed. So it understands that it is being observed and becomes an observable particle. Therefore, it should be possible for our nafs to impact the material world. However, a human nafs is not designed to do so. If one can redesign one's nafs through meditation or other means to impact the material world, one may gain the power to affect objects. But such redesigning without sufficient knowledge may spoil one's nafs. 3. Word of black magic words are energies. A set of correctly designed words may function like a software program of a computer. If applied to a nafs through meditation and repeated chanting, it may mold the nafs to have certain abilities. However, it is obvious that such modification harms the nafs, soul, which is designed to act within a human body and develop over time. The matters will be clear subsequently in this tafsir, after I will discuss the jinn deliberately in section 3 of chapter 7, and human soul, nafs, in section 10 of chapter 6. 4. Time it is said that Harut and Marut descended to earth during the time of Idris. Idris lived before Noah, so the event occurred about 6,000 years ago. Most likely, the Battle of Mahabharata took place during this time. The similarities between Yudhishthira of the Mahabharata and Prophet Idris of the Quran are remarkable. Yudhishthira is famous for his truthfulness and was lifted to the sky. Similarly, Idris was a man of truth and was also lifted to the sky. Also mentioned in the book, the case of Idris. He was a man of truth, a prophet, and we raised him to lofty station. Al-Quran 1956-59. Section 17 of chapter 2, verse 104 to 123. Instructing Muslims in context of people of the book O, you of faith. Say not words of ambiguous import, but words of respect, and hearken. To those without faith is a grievous punishment. It is never the wish of those without faith among the people of the book, nor of the pagans, that anything good should come down to you from your Lord. But Allah will choose for His special mercy whom He will, for Allah is Lord of grace abounding. None of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar. Know you not that Allah has power over all things? Know you not that to Allah belongs the dominion of the skies and lands, and besides Him you have neither patron nor helper? Would you question your apostle, as Moses was questioned before? But whoever changes from faith to unbelief has strayed without doubt from the right way. Quite a number of the people of the book wish they could turn you back to infidelity after you have believed, out of selfish envy, after the truth has become manifest unto them. But forgive and overlook till Allah accomplishes His purpose, for Allah has power over all things. And perform a salat, and give zakat, and whatever good you send forth before you for your souls, you shall find it with Allah, for Allah sees well all that you do. And they say, none shall enter paradise unless he be a Jew or a Christian. Those are their wishful thinking. Say, produce your proof if you are truthful. Nay, whoever submits his face to Allah and is a doer of good, musinun, he will get his reward with his Lord. On such shall be no fear, nor shall they grieve. The Jews say, the Christians follow nothing, and the Christians say, the Jews follow nothing. Yet they study the book, Bible, like unto their words said, who know not. But Allah will judge between them in their quarrel on the day of judgment. And who is more unjust than he who forbids that in places for the worship of Allah, His name should be celebrated, whose zeal is to ruin them? It was not fitting that such should themselves enter them except in fear. For them, there is nothing but disgrace in this world, and in the world to come an exceeding torment. To Allah belong the east and the west. Whithersoever you turn, there is Allah's countenance. For Allah is all-embracing, all-knowing. They say, Allah has begotten a son. Glory be to Him. Nay, to Him belongs all that is in the skies and lands. Everything renders worship to Him. To Him is due the primal origin of the skies and lands. When He decrees a matter, He says to it, be, and it is. And those who have no knowledge say, why does not Allah speak to us? Or why do not a sign come to us? So said the people before them, words of similar import, their hearts are alike. We have indeed made clear the signs unto any people who hold firmly to faith. Verily, we have sent you in truth as a bearer of glad tidings and a warner, but of you no question shall be asked of the companions of the blazing fire. Never will the Jews or the Christians be satisfied with you unless you follow their form of religion. Say, the guidance of Allah, that is the guidance. And if you were to follow their desires, after what you have received of knowledge, then you would have against Allah neither any protector nor any helper. Those to whom we have sent the book study it, as it should be studied. They are the ones that believe therein. Those who reject faith therein, the loss is their own. O children of Israel, call to mind the special favor which I bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you to all others. And guard yourselves against a day when one soul shall not avail another, nor shall compensation be accepted from her, nor shall intercession profit her, nor shall anyone be helped. Remarks. The verses of this segment criticize the Jews extensively. However, they are also criticized in the Holy Bible. This is not new. Rather, it is a great honor that the Creator of the universes remembered them and found them suitable for criticism. Allah has used them as examples of both good and bad to teach the new ummah, ensuring they do not commit the same offenses. This segment justifies the formation of a new ummah in the religion of Abraham.